Hey, welcome to the Chiropractic Lifestyle Revolution podcast. And why are we doing these? What is the chiropractic lifestyle revolution? Because we're in a time in the world where people are losing faith in pharmaceutical companies. They are losing faith in medicine. They want chiropractic lifestyle. They want an inside out healthcare system, and they want you. We just have to know how to communicate lifestyle, get away from pain, and move into people using chiropractic as healthcare that affects generations. Hey, what if your purpose, and I know it is, what if your purpose was to be able to get patients that are 3 generations from now? What are the kids born 30 years from now? What are they going to use for healthcare? And you are creating those leaders today. So, what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to take the secret 8-step re-exam. Man, I'm going to tell you why it's a secret in a minute. Let me share my screen because the re-exam is really the key to retention. And this is the one thing, well, there's a few things, but this is one of the things the whole chiropractic profession was missing. I had 4 coaches and none of them taught me about the power of this. But when I figured it out and I discovered it through studying human behavior, man, my retention went through the roof. PVA went through the roof. Percent kept appointments, people making all their appointments. Man, I remember having days of over 200 visits a day where 100% of we didn't get one recall. They all just piled in. And hey, that's how you have amazing record-breaking days. So let me share my screen right here. And here's what we're going to talk about. Let me get this to you. Here we go. Come on, slideshow. Let's go. Okay, we're going to talk about the secret 7-figure 8-step re-exam. That really, this is the key to a 7-figure lifestyle retention. And this is taken from our online training that we're about to release in June, in the first week of June. And it's the secrets of a 7-figure lifestyle practice. What do? We take principled, purpose-driven chiropractors like you. We help them build a 7-figure lifestyle. What's that mean? That you can make 7 figures, $80,000 to $100,000 a month, just on your wellness patients. And what is that going to do? Well, it's going to be bulletproof to any economy. It doesn't matter what the government wants to do. These people are living a chiropractic lifestyle because you have become their leader. You have become their gatekeeper, and they trust you more than they trust CNN, ABC, NBC, whatever's going on in the government. They trust you more. And that's why it's bulletproof. It also becomes financially abundant. You have 90% of your patients coming on wellness. So it's very easy. It's highly profitable. It gives you freedom because it's not dependent on you. It also, like chiropractic always does, provides us an amazing life. But what's the best part about this? It fulfills our purpose to create lifestyle people that will use chiropractic as healthcare for generations far beyond your life. So what does it really do? It creates a legacy. Now, here's what I figured out. So after 4 management groups, you guys know the story. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. This patient education thing. I had a 40 PVA, patient education. And I know some people really didn't care. You ever notice that? They don't care what you know. You didn't meet their emotional needs. So I started studying human behavior. I want to know, man, how do I get all my patients to look at chiropractic like I do? How do I get them to use chiropractic as a lifestyle, not periodically over lifetime, but as a lifestyle? And how do I develop the systems that can do this one after another that's not dependent on me, but anybody can learn? And I started studying human behavior. It's now been almost 25 years of coaching, and I've incorporated this. And man, that's why these are the secrets. This is based on the science of human behavior. How cool is that? So let's look at this. Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, man, let me see if I can move this down. So what's the purpose? Here we go. What's the purpose of the re-exam? Let's get this thing out of here. Sorry, you guys. We are, what are not the purposes? There we go. What are not the purposes of the re-exam? Well, the purpose is not to evaluate objective findings to prove improvement. I mean, come on, that's automatic. That's not the purpose of the re-exam. Is that going to be done in the re-exam? Absolutely. That's automatic. So just forget about it. Hey man, increase range of motion. You're just telling them why they can quit. Well, I don't have a positive KEMS anymore. I mean, come on. You guys know this stuff doesn't work. How many people get better with chiropractic? Everyone. How many people stay for lifestyle for years and generations? Not everyone. In fact, a very small percentage. So the first thing to understand is it's not about the objective findings. And once you understand that, and it's not to show improvement or eliminate pain, you guys already know that, because once pain's eliminated, they're gone. If that's what we're focused on, it's not even about improvement of their health problems. How many people, man, they had wicked asthma for life, their asthma goes away, and then they quit. They have ulcerative colitis, they have autoimmune disease, and then all of a sudden they quit. Why? Because what do we learn about human behavior? Our brain is a deletion mechanism. And what's that mean? Whatever isn't at the forefront of our mind, it deletes it and puts in our subconscious mind, or doesn't even think about it. And that's why, oh my God, how many people, well, I had migraines every day for 30 years, 2 adjustments, they don't have migraines. When they say, well, I can't afford it, what's my insurance cover? You know, I really don't have time. You're like, what are you talking about? That's the difference between information, which people have to try to remember, and an experience, which they can't forget. So what's that mean? How many experiences do you remember from your childhood? I mean, hey, I'm 62 years old, right? I can remember things when I'm 5 years old. I could go back to that moment and see it clearly right now. Why? Because it's wired into us, because it was associated with a big emotion. Climbing the top of the tree, swinging in the wind, and my mom's this big down there. Little Freddie, calm down, you're gonna fall, right? I'm like, Mom, this is great, right? I can remember that like it was yesterday, and I was probably 7 years old. So what else? So let's keep going. All the above show them why they can quit. Man, look at this. Let's move this up here, shall we? Okay. Now, these are all results of why they bought a program of correction. Those are all results. And once they get the results, then they're done. I mean, how many people quit? You're like, I can't freaking believe it. What is it they don't understand? No, it's what you don't understand. Because if patient education was the model that worked, we'd already be seeing a heck of a lot more of the population. They wouldn't think chiropractic is about back pain. You know, they would know it was about healthcare, but what have we done as chiropractors? We've lowered our standards to fit the skill level because we can't get a high enough percentage in the lifestyle. So what have they done? Lower their standards. What's that mean? Well, I used to ask the spouse come today to ROF, but I couldn't get anybody to come. I couldn't, so many people wouldn't come. I got tired of pushing them, so I quit asking. Well, I used to do a workshop, but it was hard to get people there. These are things that I hear. It was hard to get people there, so I just quit. I quit asking them, and then I just quit doing it. Why? When we lower our standards to our skill level, rather than keeping a high standard and raising our skill level that meets the standard. That's what this program is. This program is to increase your skill level to meet your standards. You get 90% of all your patients into wellness, into a lifestyle mindset, because lifestyle is a mindset. Would you guys agree? Okay, what else? Purpose is not the avoidance of pain. Why? Because the avoidance of pain is only short-term change. Avoidance of pain is short-term commitment. Now, there's 4 areas of the brain that you have to go through. And this is part of human behavior. It's part of emotion. Now, hey, look, you could say, well, what's this deal? Human behavior, la, la, la. Do I have to learn psychology? No, you don't have to do anything you want. My question is, are you treating human beings? What percentage of your patients are human beings? Well, we are emotional beings. And if you don't understand how our brain works, and you don't understand how we process emotions, and you don't understand how emotions and belief systems get locked, and how those belief systems will make them quit care, or make them skeptical, or have objections, or watch their life totally self-destruct, then how are you going to get 90% in lifestyle? That's why I started studying human behavior 35 years ago. not only had to use it in practice, very successfully, I might add, but have coached hundreds of doctors in the meantime. So what are these 4 areas of the brain? One is survival. So what's the deal? When people come in with a problem, they're coming in with a problem because they can't handle it on their own. It bothers them. Now their model doesn't match their world. That's the definition of pain, not physical pain, but emotional pain, meaning I think I should be like this, but the reality is my life is like this and it sucks and I can't fix it. So what do? I go to a doctor. Now, whether you believe it or not, they're on survival. Why? Because if they can't fix themselves, it triggers the primitive brain. Now, here's the problem. When the primitive brain is firing, hey, by the way, I have a whole training on this. Now I'm just going through the 10 words or less, but I get into this in detail. And then we show you through the system how to take them through these areas of the brain to get them into lifestyle mindset. This is very important, by the way, for the re-exam. So when their primitive brain is triggered, it disconnects them from the frontal lobe. So you're trying to educate and they're on survival. Their brain isn't processing words. Have you ever noticed people that are in a crisis, they're a 10 out of 10 in pain, 9 out of 10, and they can't hear a word you say? Why? Because they're trying to survive. Even people with much duller chronic pain are the same way. They can't comprehend. They don't comprehend fully what you're saying. Okay. So now once they feel safe, you build trust. Now they're in the avoidance pain. Well, I don't ever want that to happen again. That's like, Ms. Jones, how's your back pain affect your life? Well, I can't pick up my kids. So I don't feel like a good mom. Great. Their back pain goes away. And what do we try to do? And here's the problem that chiropractic has missed for over 100 years, 127 years. Well, the early chiropractors were all about, probably created more lifestyle patients than we did. But what do they say? Well, Miss Joyce's like, oh, my back feels great. I feel like a good mom, so, I can't afford it, but I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. What do you do? Well, if you don't continue, the pain's going to come back and you're not going to feel like a good mom again. That's the avoidance of pain. You know what? This is what a lot of management groups teach. That's not how people make long-term change. Right? You say, I want to get married. I'm going to marry this person over here because I'm tired of fighting with my girlfriend over here or boyfriend. Well, that's why you leave that relationship, but that doesn't mean I'm going to leave this one to go over and marry this one. No, what do? Yes, you leave that one, but then you go, oh my God, this is everything I've been looking for. This is the vision and the life that I want to create. That's not the avoidance of pain. Okay. Now what? It's got to be easy. Now there's a number of things in chiropractic. We complicate the crap out of things. It's 3 times a week. It's months. You got to do these exercises at home, and there's ways to make time and money and the appointments and the scheduling to make it all easy and consistent. Consistency counts. And what that means, consistency gives certainty. Consistency creates habits they don't have to think about. It's aligned with their values and purpose. If it doesn't seem easy, they won't commit. So these are the people on day 2 that say, number 1, you've given them their condition. You look at the x-rays talking about the health problems. Number 2, you give them time, then you give them money. Man, you gave them 3 major things to think about in one day. What's one of the reasons people won't sign? Because all that information isn't easy. So what do? I have to think about it. I'm going to get another opinion. I can't afford it. All of that is the fact that you gave them, comes down to mainly one fact. You gave them too much information all in one day. That's why we have a 3-day system, not a 2-day system. I go through and explain that in the program. Secrets. That's a major secret of human behavior, by the way. Why people don't commit to the program that has nothing to do with their problem. It has nothing to do with whether or not you can help them. It has everything to do with, do you know how to take them through the 4 areas of the brain and how they make life-changing decisions? 4th one, this is it, baby, pleasure. People will go through all the pain, they'll go through all the process, they'll do all that just to get some friggin' pleasure, something that gives them purpose, something that has a massive dopamine secretion. You want their brain to be like a dopamine sponge, man, overflowing with dopamine. You want that to be like an 8-ounce glass, and you have a 64-ounce pitcher of dopamine pouring into their brain, because dopamine gives them motivation, courage, inspiration, and it comes from purpose and leads to pleasure. And that's how we do that. And because we know the areas of the brain and we understand neuroemotional chemistry, we show you how to do that in this. That's another secret of how you develop a 7-figure lifestyle. Now let's look at lifestyle. It's not a 7-figure practice. There's lots of people doing that. It's 7 figures just on your wellness, people. That's what makes it bulletproof. That's what makes it, partially financially abundant. I mean, if you have a $1 million practice, yeah, that's financially abundant, but those are guaranteed monthly payments before you put your key in the door. You're getting $80,000 to $100,000. You may think, well, I don't want that much. Well, you don't have to have it, but if it can get you that, hey, stop at 40, stop at 50, stop wherever you want. The difference is you have the power to determine. You're not basing on patient education and trying to push the boulder uphill. So now that we know long-term change is based on pleasure, now let's go. What are the purposes of the re-exam? Pleasure is long-term lifestyle change. That's it, man. Now look at this. How many people, you went through chiropractic school, you go through short-term pain for long-term pleasure? Absolutely. You own your own business, short-term pain, long-term pleasure. You're training your team, short-term pain, long-term pleasure. By the way, this program makes training your team so easy, because we have videos that explain this, and the team members will watch it once, 10-minute video, boom, got it. What else you do? Marriage. You go through some short-term pain for long-term pleasure. What about kids? Definitely short-term pain. Feels like long-term pain. No, I'm just kidding. Short-term pain for long-term pleasure, right? So the re-exam is to create an unstoppable person through the experience that you create. Man, when they are unstoppable. Now, how did I get this? Well, first of all, I went to UPW, Unleash Power Within, Tony Robbins, and I went there after 10 years and then 15 years of studying human behavior. How does Tony get people across the fire? So I didn't go to walk across the fire. I went there to figure out, how did you just get 15,000 people that you don't know across fire? That is a system. And 0.5% just get blisters on 2,000-degree coals. That looks like chiropractic to me. And then business mastery, how to create lifelong raving fans. The secrets to the 7-figure lifestyle practice to create a bulletproof, financially abundant culture, 90% wellness that gives you freedom, man, fulfills your purpose, and truly an amazing life, is based on the science of human behavior, the same stuff Tony uses Crossfire, and to create lifelong raving fans so they build your practice for you. Man, you create unstoppable people. The purpose is to put them in a peak inspired, committed state. Why? I'm going to show you as we go through the steps. You're going to see why when you make them unstoppable, why they're committed, how you layer conviction, and how that is really the foundation for, oops, wrong way. The highest emotional need is contribution. So there's six human needs. Once we show you how to meet all 5, then you're going to meet 6. 6 means 8 out of 10 or more are referring to you consistently. The most inspired state is purpose. So what do we want to do? We want to give people, make chiropractic lifestyle their purpose and the desire. And we don't create patients, we create leaders. These are on our core values. To give them purpose to contribute to the lives of others. Why? So they build it for us. This is our freedom. This is why it's not personality dependent. This is why they live the lifestyle, because they have a purpose, not just to live it, but to affect generations. And even better than that, they have a purpose to bring other people in. How cool is that? So the pleasure of purpose creates massive dopamine in the brain, and dopamine is what makes them unstoppable. Sorry to switch those words on. You're like, wait, I'm trying to read there. Dopamine creates courage, inspiration, pleasure, and eliminates objections. How important is that? We love dopamine. Thank you so much. Let's eliminate all those objections. And we have several systems in the seven-figure lifestyle practice that are the secrets that create a dopamine flush in their brain that makes them inspired. So we get continual committed verbal and body language agreements that layer unstoppable conviction. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and briefly explain the 8 steps of the seven-figure lifestyle re-exam this is the foundation of retention. Here's the problem we ran into in chiropractic. Yes, I'm going to get into this. Hey, you're great at starting people. We're great the first week. Let's close this patient. And then what do? Well, give them what they want and then tell them what they need. The human brain doesn't work like that. Not when they're under survival and they have a highly emotional condition. The more you talk about pain on day one, the more you are keeping them in survival. So they're either going to fight or flight. What's that mean? Fight, objections, flight, see a doc, 3 adjustments, I feel better, I'm gone. That's the problem. Okay, it's not, we didn't go through the 4 areas and get them hooked on pleasure. So let's check this out. So we go over 3 things right away. What's improved? What needs work? What do you expect to see in 30 days? That's the next re-exam. So the first 3 steps are with every finding. So I'll give an example of this. You go, wow, hey, so we look at the subjective complaints. And then we go, oh man, look at this. Your neck pain's 80% better. That's great. So we address their pain. That means 80% of the inflammation has gone out of the nerve. So because we associate pain with inflammation. Now, hey, because the inflammation's out there, man, there's nerve energy pouring into your arm. Look, your numbness is 40% better. Remember how weak your right arm felt weaker? Man, your workouts are stronger. You're getting more energy and strength pouring in your right arm. Your whole upper body is coming back together. Remember when you injured it in that car accident, you shut down the energy and you were losing function in your right arm. You kept getting injured. It was weak. And you were really worried about what was happening to the right side of your body. Look, your body's improving. And now, hey, those same nerves go to the thyroid gland. Look, your metabolism is 40% better, right? So what do we need? Hey, the numbness, 40% better. We want to see that another 30% in the next 30 days, right? We got 60% more to go. We want to see it another 30% better. Hey, look, your metabolism is 60% better. You have 60% more energy. We got another 40% to go. Let's see it at another 20 or 30%, 20 to 30% in the next 30 days. Now, what are you doing the whole time? They're going, yeah, man, that's awesome. You're getting them excited. What are you doing? You're getting them excited about everything. And then you're getting them committed and convicted. And then you're giving them a short-term goal in 30 days. So another example, hey, your back pain is 90% better, right? That means you got 90% inflammation out of the nerve. Remember, that was the first goal. So that's great. But really, what's more important? Look, your menstrual cramps are 80% better. Man, you suffered since you started your cycle at 13 years old. Now you're about to go into menopause or whatever age you are, right? You've been suffering for 35 years or, 30 years with this. Now, hey, we got, I forgot the percentage. We got 60% more to go, right? I want to see that another 20 to 30% better in 30 days. Man, one day you're going to come here and this is going to be gone. Look how your body's healing. So we want to make identity statements. Hey, you're 46 years old. Your asthma has gone 60% better. Your asthma is healed more in 60 days than it healed the first 46 years. Look at all that healing energy that's been trapped in your body that you're now releasing. You're getting younger and stronger. Your lungs, you're halfway through your life and your lungs are finally getting stronger. Man, the second half of your life is going to be so amazing. What's it going to be like that you can exercise and you can breathe? Imagine that. What am I doing? I'm putting them into a peak state. I'm getting excited, right? We got another 40% to go. Let's see that another 30% better in the next 30 days. So you go through all their health problems, but you're not just going through the improvement of the health. You're making identity statements like, wow, look at you're younger and stronger. Look at this. Your body's coming back to life. Look at this. You've healed more in 60 days than you did in 36 years. Look at all this healing potential that's been trapped in your body that's now being released. Like I'm describing conditions, but look at my tone. Look at my excitement. I'm getting them elevated. I'm creating an experience. I'm reframing everything, from pain, which they're already off pain, not just health problems, but look how your body's healing and growing. That's the 5th human need is growth. So they have to be progressing, and they don't care about the objective findings. And you'll see on our re-exam product, we have a 10 video, 8 steps to the 7-figure lifestyle re-exam. We have 10 videos on this. We train you exactly how to do that. And man, when you get this down, shoot, just that one product alone, oh my God, man, you're going to increase the number of patients going in lifestyle. Huge. I mean, your PVA should go up 20 to 30, easy. So you go through all the findings of the re-exam like that. Now, once you get them in a peak state, man, they are all fired up, right? Now they're going to repeat their program. Okay, now I'll show you why this is like this. How long do we say this would take to correct? Just correction, right? 6 months. How long you been here? 2 months. Okay, you're 1/3 of the way through correction. What level of health you got to be for lifelong health? 90%. We already told them they need 90% correction. What level of your health problems have to be healed? 90% of those. So they have to get 90% structural correction, at least 90% better in all their subjective complaints. So let's say we're going to re-x-ray them in 90 days. So what level of correction we expect to see in a month when we re-x-ray you? 50%. So if you're 50%, you got to get to 90% for lifelong health. What am I focused on? Lifelong health, lifelong health. What are we going to do? Well, I'm going to continue 3 times a week for 3 more months until I get to 90%. They are going to say that. Now, see, if you repeat this program, here's what's great. Here's one of the communication mantras in Elite. They don't care about what you say. They care about what they say. If they say it, they believe it. If they say it, it wires into them. So what are we doing? We're getting commitment on the whole program. So once you're 90%, what are you going to do? I'm going to come once a week for 6 months for stabilization. And then what? And then we're going to look at my level of correction and lifestyle. And we're going to set up a program, doc, that can help me, take care of my spine and nervous system the rest of my life for me and my family. You can lead them to say that. Great. Are you budgeting for the next phase of care? Yes, I am. So then, that's a whole nother, hey, let's put a down payment, blah, blah, blah. So when they repeat their program, they remember it. Because what's the worst thing you can do? Well, we're going to go for 3 months, 2 months, 24 visits, whatever it is. Then we're going to x-ray you, or then we're going to do this test, and then we'll see where we go. Nope. I can look at a person's PVA and I can tell you what recommendations they're making. Somebody's got a 24 PVA, I'll bet you $100 that they got a 24 visit recommendation, and then they left it all open-ended. You're dealing with human beings, gang. You're not dealing with logic. There's a difference between logic and psychology. Well, I don't want to learn psychology. We'll keep giving them logic. There's this quote that says, you can be right or you can be rich. And this isn't about being rich. This is about being rich with your influence, meaning you've created hundreds of lifestyle people that are just coming to you for lifestyle, and everything's so easy. You're just having fun all day, man. They're making their appointments, they're bringing their family. This is crucial. So once we get them, 1, 2, 3, step 1, 2, 3, puts them in an unstoppable dopamine saturated state. Then when they're in that state, they commit to the whole program. So then what do? Now we make a plan to the next re-exam. Okay, let's look at the next 30 days. Hey, you've been coming in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. You've been doing great. How's that working? Oh, it's freaking awesome. What about the next 30 days? Yep, no problems. Well, we got Memorial Day coming up. Are you going out of town? Well, I am. Okay, let's see you the first 4 days. We'll see you an extra day when you come back. So you're already planning for vacations. You're handling those things in advance. Right? It's all handled in advance. So once they just made a commitment to the next 10 months, then you're only asking for 30 days. They already said, I'm committed. I'm committed for this. And then I'm committed to lifestyle. And you're only making a plan for the next 30 days. This is how this re-exam, when I figured this out based on human behavior, because I went to UPW, I went to Business Mastery, I put all this together, created all this, and then saw my practice and retention go like that. Because it's a science, man. It's not dependent on you, brother. Hey, you can be right or you can be rich with influence, creating lifestyle amazing patients. The choice is yours. You don't have to do any of this. I'm just telling you what friggin' works. And I've helped hundreds of doctors do this. So Now they're committed the next 30 days, keep the carrot right in front of their face, because what are they doing? They just know the next carrot. Now what? Handle objections. What's that mean? Hey, you know what? Let's look at the last month. Man, you've been having a hard time with Mondays. What's going on? Some of the weeks you made it twice. Sometimes you made it 3 times. Well, you know, I'm busy at work, la, la, la. So you handle those objections. Well, if Monday's a hard day, do we need to switch the day? I know it's Monday morning, but you have morning meetings. Would it be better to put you Monday evening? Yeah, let's change it to Monday evening. So that's where you handle the objections. Sorry about my coughing. And then what do? You get them committed to a schedule that they know they can do. They're committed to do. Why? Because the first 3 steps put them in an unstoppable state, and you're putting them in a mindset, because they're dopamine soaked, that is above objections. Remember, it eliminates objections. How cool is that? Now we're going to walk them to the front desk. Here, you got to read this up here now. Get a 3-way agreement. So I'm going to walk them up. Let's say my patient's Jim, and I don't know what's CA's Catherine. Catherine, Jim here's. We're coming 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, we're going to keep the same appointment, 10:30. But Wednesday, Friday, we're going to keep it 10:30 in the morning. Monday, we're going to change the afternoon. Let's make that a 5:30, right, Jim? Yep. And he's committed. This is going to work, right, Jim? Yep. Okay, great. And then maybe they make a payment, maybe they don't. But what are you doing? You got the agreement in the exam room. You're anchoring at the front desk, and you're passing the sword of authority to the front desk. Now the front desk, they're going to be scheduled minimally. What am I doing? I'm typing. They're putting them on the schedule minimally till the next re-exam. So when you come in and you look at your schedule, you got a bunch of walk-ins. Those are people, they may not stay. Why? Because it's not convenient. Well, I'll call, or I'll come in when I want, or I don't know if I'm on a program, or maybe I am, but I'll call when it's convenient. All those things. That's why practices go up and down, because there isn't consistency. And then what happens when you look at your percent kept appointments? Let's say it's not uncommon for people to have 80% kept appointments. So that's 20% that didn't show up. And it's not uncommon for people to have 15% of their practice walking in. 20% plus 15%, that's 35% unscheduled visits. It's very common for at least, when you add those 2 numbers together, for at least 20% to be on a variable. That's why some weeks are great, other weeks aren't. You know, we hit a peak, we drop down, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because you didn't do this. And I was the same way for 11 years. In the last 4 years, man, boom, it was like everything was automatic. It was like, you know, before I was in 3rd gear, couldn't go to 4th gear, revving the engine, you know, driving long distance. And then all of a sudden, whoa, I don't have 5th gear, I have 6th gear, man. I could just sit back fat, turn the air conditioner on, you know, listen to an audiobook, I don't know, whatever, and just cruise on automatic. And then that's when it's like, okay, I need to bring this out to the profession, because nobody is teaching this. Now, what's step 8? Well, we call it the coupon drawer. So that's what do we do? We get gift certificates from other businesses. Like you go to gyms, or you go to med spas, or massage therapists, or car washes, or details, or restaurants. And they give you coupons that you don't pay for, that you give to your patients. Hey, man, you had such a great result. Man, in 2 months, your overall health 60% better. Dude, here, take your wife out to dinner. You know, this guy's our patient. He owns a restaurant, la, 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 la. So that's a whole nother training that's on the secrets. And why is this a secret? How to extend your culture into your community, get leaders and business owners as your patients, which I'm sure plenty of people have. And then you share your culture. We help build their culture. We share our culture. I build their culture. I'm the chiropractor for their business. We send people there. They have the boss is our patient. A lot of the employees and team members are our patients. And so what do? We build this culture that's all lifestyle. Now the business owners and the leaders are telling other business owners and leaders, they're telling their team member, they're telling their clients. And this is how you build it, because you leverage relationships. So here you go, man. Look at those steps, man. These things work. Check that out. I'm going to stop my screen share. There you go, gang. Man, that is huge. So hey, there is the you can go to the Secrets of the Seven Figure Lifestyle Facebook page. We are going to release this in early June. I don't know when you're listening to this, June 2023. If it's after that, after the second week in June, just go to elitecoachingllc.com, Elite Coaching LLC, or just call me. I will put my number in the chat. Shoot, just call me or email me. I'm going to put my email on here. Dr. Fred 1 at msnds.com. I didn't say I was good at typing. And I'm going to put my number here at 949. I'll put my cell number. Here you go. 425-765-3454. If you have any questions, you want me to share any of this with you, we just want to create a lifestyle revolution. So even if nothing, man, if you're like, dude, hey, I just want to get one of those steps again. Can you show me that again? Yep, no problem. We just want to create a massive movement, purpose-driven chiropractors that know how to create lifestyle practice. And watch out for the events, the Chiropractic Lifestyle Revolution, and watch these podcasts. Go to YouTube or subscribe here. And we love you guys. Let's make a difference in healthcare with chiropractic today and together. Thanks, man. Love you guys.